Alongside Darren, Dreger, Pierre, LeBrun, and Frank Seravalli. Gentlemen, it's been the big question since Team Canada first announced its selection camp roster. Will first overall pick and defending MVP at the World Junior Alexi Lafraniere be freed up to play for Canada this Christmas? And Darren, we now have our answer.
We do, Gino. The New York Rangers have made the decision that they will not be releasing Alexi Lafreniere, the first overall pick in the 2020 draft to Team Canada in the World Junior Championships. They want him to continue to train in the New York area. As we reported on Tuesday, he's been doing that, staying with family members since the beginning of November, and they want him entirely focused on his first NHL camp. Similar thinking by Tom Fitzgerald, the general manager of the New Jersey Devils, with Jack Hughes. USA Hockey has inquired with the delays between the NHL and the NHLPA. Team USA wondering if Jack Hughes could take another run at the World Junior Championship. But Fitzgerald wants Jack Hughes absolutely dialed in on his second NHL camp. And a bit more of a loose scenario with the Toronto Maple Leafs and Nick Robertson. So Team USA could get a boost from Nick Robertson, but it's all akin to dependent on what's happening in the National Hockey League. If the NHL is up and running, Robertson stays in Toronto. If it's not, then he will go to Edmonton by the middle of this month.
Speaking of the NHL potentially up and running, we all know another full season without fans in the seats would be a crushing blow to league revenues. But Pierre, some teams are trying to get creative on ways to bring the fans in safely.
Yeah, creative is a good way to put it, Gino. Believe it or not, but I'm just passing this on. The Pittsburgh Penguins, for example, have informed the league that they'd be ready to start the opening month of the regular season in outdoor games. The Boston Bruins looking to play multiple games at Fenway Park if it's feasible and local health authorities are okay with it. We also have the Carolina Hurricanes who might want to have a game or two by their own refrigeration system. The LA Kings at the MLS Stadium in California later in the season, if health authorities allow it, would like to play a whole bunch of games. And there's other teams as well that have told the league we'd like to play outdoor games. Why? Because with the fans physically distanced, obviously you can get some gate revenue. That's what this is all about. The NHL has not officially responded. I think right now they see the pros and the cons to it. By the way, none of the 7 Canadian teams at this point, I believe, think it's feasible or of interest to them. So we'll see where this goes.
Pierre, the key to having these games being played safely will be testing. And the big difference between next season and finishing off last year in the hubs is that teams are responsible for securing their own testing for players and staff members. And let's just say there's been a lot of shopping going on for NHL teams when it comes to testing because it's both expensive and they're trying to find the most efficient way to get their test results. In talking to a number of teams today, I'm told that the average price that teams are paying for a COVID-19 test is somewhere between $125 to $150 US per test. That adds up for a 50-member traveling party. That's $6,000 to $7,000 a day. And if you're multiplying that by 7 days a week, you can see $45,000 a week is a lot of money. And in addition to that, not every team is as lucky as the Carolina Hurricanes have been with their testing site getting their results just an hour up the road. Some teams, especially Western Canadian teams, that had to fly their test results across the country to Canada in order to get those in 24 hours. No one wants to skimp on the testing. They all recognize how important this is in the process, but still something that teams are keeping an eye on.
We're still no closer to knowing when the NHL season will start, or for that matter, when camps are going to open up. But players are starting to gather in their team cities to be ready just in case, Dregs?
Yeah, I would say more or less, but it depends on what team we're talking about here. An interesting group of players gathered in Arizona. Austin Matthews, of course, put together a skate there. Connor McDavid participated. Other NHLers said to include the likes of Anthony Duclair and Matt Dumba. At times there were 10, maybe 15 players of NHL caliber, AHL caliber on the ice at one time. Connor McDavid has since returned to Canada this week, but players doing whatever they can do, Gino, to stay in shape when the dates come in from the NHL.
You couldn't blame McDavid if he was a little hesitant coming back. The active cases of COVID in Alberta are so bad right now, they've reached out to the federal government asking for help with field hospitals.